Yeah. Well, hi. Hello, fucking everybody. Welcome to me, myself, and I'm Joey G, Bad Bussy on IG, all the things. I'm turning to somebody who I'm like kind of obsessed with already. We met on Friday. We've been following each other for a minute and a half now, I fear. And
Fear.
I fear.
I hate to say the rumors are true.
I hate to say the rumors are true, I fear, but see, the way like Twitter lingo's become like ingrained in our heads now. But anyways, but yeah, we met on Friday finally for the first time, and we exchanged a few words, and just in those few words I was like, I like her. I like her, and I want to talk to her on my show next week. It has to be next week because I want to fucking talk to her. We have Reese Havoc. Welcome
Hi.
to the show. Hey, Diva. We've been geeking for a minute before we even
I know
recorded, 'cause
we
you're
were
fucking
chatting about
hot.
all kinds of stuff. Then I'm like, oh gosh. I was like, how long were the cameras rolling? Because using names and graphic detail, but
graphic
detail. But
graphic
for us to know
details.
and probably for me to share later at some point. 'Cause
No, exactly.
I can't keep anything to myself. But I'm so happy to be here with you.
Well, thank you for coming. Are you like a TMI type of girl?
I think I was born without the processors that like make it so that you know what like the boundary is for things that are too personal to speak about.
Valid.
I'm like, there's really nothing ever in my life that I'm ever like, oh, I would never share that. I might be shy about sharing some things, but like it'll come out totally. No, I'm not ashamed of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I think for me, it's like I realize I'm like an extremist in like just the way I behave in a way. Like I'm either like this way or that way. And so when it comes to like being introverted and extroverted and like TMI, not TMI, it's like I'm either a complete robot in the corner that doesn't say anything, or I'm the most talkative person in the room and I'm just telling you everything. And I kind of prefer just telling everyone everything because that just like breaks the ice. It's easier and it's so much more fucking fun.
I think I went to acting school and like I've been an actor my whole life.
Yeah.
So I've been in a lot of environments where sharing too much has kind of been rewarded, I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes to a fault, but so I think at this point it's like there is nothing that I feel like I haven't confronted or like feel scared of talking about. And like I always am attracted to people that are very like as friends in relationships.
Yeah.
Period. I think that's why we clicked. Like we're just very like put it out there.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just say what you mean. It's like you don't or like even things where people are like obviously we knew each other, right? But it's like, oh, what's your name? Like I hate that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I'm always like, oh my god, we totally follow each other on Instagram. Love your vibe. Like let's be friends.
Exactly. I like shit like that. And even if like somebody doesn't know the name of somebody, I'm like, we follow each other. And I'll ask somebody, I'm like, what's your actual name? I'm like, it's not like Big Dick Daddy 96, right? Is it? Like, that's hot too. But I'm like, oh, Greg? Okay, hi. Greg, cool. Nice to meet you. Like, transparency, communication.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I'm so glad that when I started drag, I named myself Reese because I didn't think about this in the moment, but like there's something the name Reese I just feel so connected to, and I don't think I necessarily felt like connected to it in the same way when I started. But now I'm like, oh, that is my name, and it sounds like a normal name. Like it sounds like it could be my name in drag, out of drag. I feel comfortable like being introduced to people as Reese, meeting people as Reese, and my name's not like some wacky.
Yeah,
So,
like
there's like there's some wacky drag name.
She need a
like yeah, exactly.
Dick or like shit like that where it's like it's so unserious.
Yeah.
Like it's like, yeah, Reese and I are going out or whatever. Like, oh, Reese is gonna be hosting, or when they're introducing you, Reese Havoc. Like it still works on stage versus off stage.
And my drag is so unserious, and I'm like something's gotta ground it.
That's what I like about you. In the best way possible, take this as a compliment. You are so unserious.
No,
I love it.
I think I took myself very seriously for a lot of my life. I've always been like loosey goosey a little bit, but like very type A, very like I get A's in school and like I do not get in trouble. And I think as I got older and just got more comfortable with myself, I think I sort of like lost the monitoring voice or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like the devil on your shoulder that's sort of like, don't do that because people like think a certain way about you.
Yeah.
I think it was hard, but I think I just sort of practiced myself out of being in that place. So that's that's where like the Reese of it all comes from.
I love that. And it's more rewarding. Like that honestly just like helps you filter out the people like you vibe with versus don't.
Mm.
Even
Yeah,
more.
I think all of my friends these days are just like me. And I've gone through different phases in my life where like I'm totally different than my friends, but now all the people that I surround myself with, I'm like, we are probably if you cut us open and like checked out the chromosomes, very similar.
Wow. You were definitely a smart person. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I'm a
like
scientist.
I couldn't even remember the word chromosome, to be honest. I was like,
Chromosome, it's always fresh on my mind for some reason. It's like the X's and the Y's.
chromosome. See, my turns on and I'm like chromatica. I'm just like, yeah, there it is. That's what I learned in fucking science, Jesus. But yeah, I don't know. Like I used to be like going out in nightlife and stuff like that. I used to be scared, like just like kind of in anywhere really, but like maybe like nightlife specifically for a recent example. Like used to be scared of just like really being myself. Of course, keeping some level of like demure, but also like fuck that shit. Like I'm just me yapping about whatever. And I used to be scared of just like that look people would give me where they're just like, girl, what is she talking about? But now it honestly gets me so hard everywhere because I'm just like, you have no idea what the fuck I'm saying, what the fuck I'm doing, and I love it.
Yeah.
You
and
girls are confused.
I think people, whenever I get insecure about that kind of thing, I'm like, I kind of think that about 90 other people. So I'm like, I have to remind myself that like, it's all right if someone doesn't get me because there's 1,000 people out there that I am thinking the same thing about. So I can't really be upset about it.
Yeah, it's very fair. Like it's that old saying of like, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, blah, blah, blah. Like I never cared about that saying, but like I've been thinking about it a lot recently and I'm like, you know what?
Recently.
Yeah, quite recently. And I'm like, you know what? Whichever old man made that saying up or whichever Hallmark card made that saying, like, sister snapped. She made a point.
No, I love like be yourself. Everyone else is already taken.
Everyone else is already taking
Like shit like that was like on your teacher's wall. I'm like, okay, some points were made.
No, I've been like, I always say that. I'm like, cliches are sometimes cliches for a reason because they're so fucking true. Like, it's always those, like, it would be like a wood, like literally a piece of wood with like some funky paint on it that has like one of those messages on it that like all moms get from like a Home Goods or a Marshall's. And I'll be looking at it like when I go back home one morning, I'll just be like, be yourself. Everyone's already taken. I'm just like,
Yeah, it's true.
yeah. I'm like, that's
I'm like,
true.
it's so true. It's like characters what you do when no one's watching. It's so true.
Wait, I've never heard that one.
What?
Characters what you do and when no one's watching?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
I think that was introduced to me as like, it was like in the bathroom when you were supposed to like wash your hands, but it also translates.
Wait, that's
There's
so funny.
Or I think it's like picking up your trash and shit like that. There's another one that's like, it was in like, I'm always going back to elementary school. Like everything in
Same,
my life, I'm always
same.
like, and in
I peaked
elementary
in
school-
4th grade.
No, literally. It said like in 50 years, no one will remember the shoes you wore, the clothes you had, but they will remember how you made them feel. And I'm always like, oh
Wow, a 4-year-old self just like shrieking at that. Wow, really deep at 4th grade, 4 years old. How old are you? You said
wow. 4 years old in 4th grade? No, Diva, that's like 10.
See, I failed algebra 2 twice, and same as college algebra.
That I'm very the thing that no one knows about me. It's nightlife is so strange because people meet you like the most like in a wig or like wig adjacent, like
Wig adjacent.
like in under the influence of various substances.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh no, in a other life I literally was like doing calculus and shit. You guys just like don't know that. And there's never a time to be like, so do you want to hear about what I was like in,
Exactly.
school? Like that's never going to be something I'm like, let's talk about that.
Yeah, like the context of the Rosemont is like tequila, Red Bull, Kim Petras. I don't see calculus fitting anywhere.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. It's like you could get to know some people so much up to a certain point, and then you're like, wait, you're fucking scholar?
Mm.
What?
It's hard too to like. So much of my life has been in school so far, or school settings, and I mean I've been out of school now for it's 2023, almost like 4 years.
How old are you?
25.
Oh, same. Okay. See,
Hey!
when you said 4 years, I couldn't even do that math. I'm like,
I was like 2023 minus 2019.
I was like tempted to pick on my fingers and be like 9. 10.
No, we're doing like 11s and shit like that. No, but I was like, so many of my relationships were like, I knew people in that context, and I knew them in another context as well. But like that was like the foundation of our relationship context. And now I know people that have like never even known that person, which is such a cool thing. It just really feels like that's like one of the big gifts of nightlife, is like a new context to know people, and to watch those relationships like kind of
start fresh,
and then kind of infuse themselves into your real life. It's cool.
Yeah, that's so funny that you say that. I like, you read my mind, because I've been thinking about that shit so much recently. Because like, it sounds so fucking fake deep, and it's really not that serious. But it's just like the idea of like for example, I live with my best friend that's known me my whole life. Like, we grew up in Maryland together and everything. So like, there are certain things, like, it's just throughout the day where I'm like, yeah, he knows every single part about me, from whether I'm 25 to whether I was 5 years old. He knows every single part about me. Whereas like, you and I now just meeting or me at somebody in the club, it's like, oh, they only know like 2021 and so forth. They know Joey. They know Bad Bussy. They don't know that Joey did drag. They didn't know that Joey was overweight. Like, they don't know who the fuck you were before, which is crazy, and it's weird. And at first used to overwhelm me, because I'm like, do I have to explain and let everybody know every single detail about my life so that I feel like they get to know me and I trust them more? But now I'm like, no, that's cool, because you kind of get to start fresh on a new path and be like, yeah, you're just meeting me now. Like, we'll get to that point in our friendship and chat about that later. But it's like, not to quote J-Lo, but like, this is me now. Like, you know, very that. So that was a tangent, but like, I just really related to that. Wow.
In some ways, you're right. It is kind of overwhelming sometimes. Like, and I think when I started like in nightlife, I made a lot of friends, and I was like, well, how did these people sort of like become real friends? You know what I mean? There's like, we're like not friends in nightlife,
colleagues almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like work friends, right? We're gonna hang here, but then like you don't know anything about me when we're not here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So to like watch those, it's just like I love all of my best friends now I've met through nightlife, which is
really
wild.
Who are your best friends now that you met through?
My best friend in the whole entire world is Hanukkah Lewinsky. Like, we started drag.
Love her.
We started drag at the same time, and I remember I was like on the subway in drag, and she was out of drag with her boyfriend, and I had no idea who she was at the time at all. And she was like, "Hey Diva," she was like, "You look so gorgeous." Aww. I think she was like, she was like, "I'm not gonna hate crime you vibes."
Yeah.
And then I met her a few weeks later, and she's like, "Oh my god, we met on the train." I was like, I have no recollection. I was like, "Oh my god, yes." We started doing we both made our drag debut at Janelle No. 5's competition. Are You the Next Diva? That was like my first performance ever. And I look back, I'm like, oh my god, crazy. And we just like sort of became really good friends through that. Like, that's my OG. And then like so many friends like I met along the way.
I love that. That's really sweet.
Yeah, no, she's the best.
That's like, I like that. Like, I love when you get a good first impression of somebody, then you become really close to them. You're just like, yeah, that's why I fucked with you from the beginning. Like,
yeah,
she said hi to you on the train. Like,
I always say that like here. There's rarely people that. There's always something about like a certain kind of person where I'm just like, oh, there's something about you that like there's a spark that I'm attracted to, and I will make sure that I get to know you in some way. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
like friend crush. You know what I mean? Like, you just seem like a cool person. Like, I want to get to know you and like see what you're about. And like, there's other people who I'm like, oh, I can kind of tell your vibe from the front. That like, maybe it's not gonna be us. Yeah. Very rarely am I wrong.
No, I'm 100% the same way. I'm a huge friend crush person. Like, I get more crushes on my friends than I do like actual romantic relationships.
Yeah.
Like I think liking somebody and like strongly liking somebody is so much more important than like loving
Totally.
them. Because loving could be so forced. It's like, oh, love you, sis. But I'm just like, no, bitch. Like, I fucks with you. Like, I like you. That's like when I was saying earlier, like when I ran into you at the Miley party, I was just like, I like her.
No, and I saw you and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I feel like we know each other so well. It was like, big smile. I was like, ah.
Exactly. I think we bonded like very quickly over, and we'll touch on that whole event because that was
It was crazy.
crazy.
It was so. I was texting someone after, and I was like, "Oh, that was kind of like crazy in there."
It was the busiest I've ever seen that place ever, and
Yeah.
I frequent the Rosemont quite often, and I was like, "Damn."
Oh, wall to wall people.
Wall to wall, down high. That's me rebooting.
Oh my God! I was like, there was like crazy sound effects.
That's Luis
I'm in
Fernando
the
being
Matrix.
like, "Stop talking
No,
shit about
literally the cease and desist. The Reese and desist.
the Reese and
Baby.
desist." Wait. He's like, "Stop talking shit about my event. No, please have us again. It was so lovely. Thank you."
No, the zoo. I was like, oh my God, I'm here at the zoo, baby.
The zoo, baby.
It
I
was giving
quite
zoo.
flattered. No, I was like, y'all have like fake plants around here. And
No, literally.
shit.
I saw a thing at some point. I don't know where it went because I never saw it again. But there was like a toucan cutout
Really?
being like carried around. Never saw it again.
Wait, I missed that. There were fucking animals at the zoo. Sexy. There we are.
Okay, I'm looking at myself on the screen. I'll be honest.
No,
I have lace for radio today.
lace for radio. Shut the fuck up, my baby. Lace for radio. But you know what? She's strapped on. She's not
Oh no,
moving. This rain
going anywhere.
or nothing will move her anywhere. Lace for radio. That's the funniest shit.
I'm laughing.
That's fucking funny as hell. But no, yeah, that I think like literally one of the few exchanges we had was just us walking through each other in the fucking like Rosemont sized mosh pit that whole place was. And we both just looked at each other and we were like, girl. And we just
No,
kept
yeah.
walking, and I like smiled to my friend and I was like, I like her.
I was trying to find a John Ali because he was like, I'm here, and I was like, I'm trying to find you, and I was like, I'm scared.
I love John Ali.
John Ali, that's one of the people that I think we used to like friend crush. Like the minute I like met John,
Friend
I was like, oh my God, you're like actually the coolest person I've ever met, and I didn't even have to like your aura just was like, oh, coolest person of all time.
So sweet. Even that night after too, I think like my friends and I, we all like went to our bodega and we were like chilling at 5 a.m. and I was just like, you know who I love? And like half drag, I'm just like, you know who I love? John Ali. And all my friends are like, yeah, he's so nice. So we all just start like talking and praising him. Love him.
And
John
they're the
Ali
best
is
ever.
mother. If John Ali hears this, you are mother.
John
and he,
Ali, if you're listening, I'll cry.
no, genuinely, when he came to my show, I was like, wow, truly like passing of the torch moment. That's mother.
Mm.
Love John Lee. He lovingly makes fun of me for calling everything mother, but I'm like, yeah, everything is mother.
Oh, John Ali makes fun of me for everything, but there's a lot to make fun of, I guess.
That just means you're entertaining.
No, I always
God
say like,
entertains.
and write this down if you're listening to this. If
You can
want
quote me
life
as
advice.
they said in
No,
Confessions of a
and I don't want to see
Teenage
this showing up in someone else's book, but I'm like, Reese Havoc's rule for life. If people can't do an impression of you, you're not entertaining. I always say this. Think about it. No, literally. So like when someone, you know those people that like you can't do an impression of, you know what I mean? They're just like, that means that
Not
nothing
memorable.
memorable. I'd rather someone do an impression of me than like have no memorable qualities.
That's a very good point.
It'll be in my book.
Can you do an impression of me?
Yeah. Let me get into it.
Give her a minute. Reset, Cameron.
No, reset.
Rude during the Valentino lip sync. Let's reset.
No, yeah, and I get that because we met and we had good energy. I saw her. I said, "Oh, she seems cool." I'm working on it. Okay.
Oh, so I'm that pussy, aren't
No,
Wow.
like cute for sure. It's like
Very.
no. Oh wait, is that a Ari tattoo?
Yeah, you clocked it. I saw like the lasers in your eyes.
No, I
going
it was like
this. Oh my gosh, that's
my
literally
everything.
I got it when I was fucking 18. I got so many tattoos when I moved to the city at 18, and I got like literally 5 in like 2 months.
I always
Like,
was
I
like,
love them.
I'll never. Okay, burp.
Yeah.
I was always like, I'll never get a tattoo because I would never have anything like permanent on my like blah blah blah. I don't know what I was thinking.
Uh-huh.
And then I
Right.
got my first one was like I got a disco ball. You can't ever see it, but it's so
Hot.
cute. And that's my right leg. It's on my left leg for sure. I don't know what legs I have. I got a disco ball like right in August of 2020. And I was like, oh, know that will be my first tattoo. And then
Uh-huh.
like a week before I got it. Okay, so let me go back in the story. I'm a horrible storyteller. I was gonna get a disco ball and I had an appointment in New York, but then I went home to North Carolina for a bit. Because I hadn't been at all during the pandemic because like I got COVID right away, blah 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 blah. And then Miley announced Midnight Sky, and I was like going through it at the time, going through it, and she announced Midnight Sky, and I was like, oh, this is a sign, and like the disco ball was like
video.
the main image. So I was like, oh, that's a sign, and so then when I was in North Carolina, I got it like right away.
Wow. I'm the same way. I like, you know how straight women like dye their hair and cut their hair as like some type of form of catharsis?
Okay, it's not just I literally dyed my hair blonde
And gays too.
2 weeks ago.
Same
Yeah.
thing. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a natural brunette?
Yeah.
Oh, hot.
I've never dyed my hair before ever.
Really?
And everyone was like, it's made the joke that you went through a mental crisis, blah 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 blah. And I was like, actually, the reason I felt good about doing this is I feel so good about myself right now, where
Yeah.
I feel comfortable and not embarrassed to make the decision, and not in the back of my mind being like, I'm going through a crisis.
That's the thing. I think it's the enlightenment that comes after the mental crisis. That's like me with my tattoos. Like, oh, there's a crisis involved and I'm trust. But getting the tattoos, like the enlightenment, I'm like, everything is fine. Everything happens for a reason. And I'm getting this to mark that moment for me. And then the crisis again ensues like 2 weeks
Yeah.
later.
Tattoos for me, it's like they're twofold in that one, if I look back on it and I don't like it, I think I'll always find some piece in that, like at 22 or whatever, like that meant something to me where I wanted it on my body forever. And I think that's very cool. And then the other part for me is like, it's just your body and it's not that serious. Like,
I'm the same way. I was never that girl. And I mean, shout out to the girls that are like that, but I was never that girl that was like, it's just like, I have to really think about if I'm going to put it on my body forever. I'm like, bruh, like when I die, they're burning me probably.
oh yeah, I'm
Turning me
cremated.
into like everything
Period.
but the bagel seasoning. Like that's going to be me in my afterlife. Gonna be that or some fucking like curry seasoning. That's literally what I'm gonna be. And I'm like, okay, I'm completely fine with this. So I might as well tie myself up if I want to. And that thing too, I'm like, I got this when I was 18. Would I get this now at 25? Probably no. But I knew at 18 I wanted this shit
No, that's
so
sick.
bad.
My friend Izzy, she has a Paradise tattoo, like a Lana tattoo, and she does not even listen to Lana anymore like that.
Really?
But I'm like, there's something iconic to me about like having a Paradise tattoo is peak Tumblr to me in a way that's so cool. I wish I had that.
Yeah, when you said Paradise, I immediately thought of Lana 2013, 2014.
Are you a Lana girl?
Everything after what? NFR.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
That makes. I think.
Like, it's just no shade to her, like her, I guess. But I'm like, it's kind of the same. Like, Ultraviolence is peak.
Interesting.
Lana, what about you?
I obviously Born to Die. Lana is
Classic.
like changed my life in a way that is. We're 25, so we get it, right?
Yeah.
Like when Marina and Lana like together sort of hit the
Oh,
scene at
girl.
the same time. It like there was nobody like that. No, I'm always like the girls don't get it today. People take Billie Eilish for granted, okay? But Marina and Lana literally paved the way. They could post anything and the girls went wild. So like that will always have a special place in my heart. And I think that music is just amazing. Norman fucking Rockwell also like wild. I think Chemtrails was sleepy to me. But I love Blue Bannisters. And she had a quote she is full of wisdom.
That lady.
I'm
yeah.
embarrassed to say that, but she is full of wisdom. But she talked the other day. She was like, I didn't promote Blue Banisters at all because like this is just to have. So if you ever have any questions about my life, you have something to refer to. And I was
Interesting.
like, wow, because it really kind of is a very explanatory album, I guess. I like that she pivoted. She also was like, everyone always speaks about like my early work as like world building and almost like a character.
Conceptual, yeah.
Conceptual, yeah, exactly. But she's like, I actually was like speaking about like the real experiences of my life, just like no one like took it that way.
Interesting.
Which I find very fascinating.
This was Banisters, right?
Blue Banisters, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to it because that was my one critique. After a while, I was just like, "Who is this girl?"
She's fascinating to me. Well, because I think she like started out. We all were like, "Oh, she's like the American like wild child." Right?
Yeah.
She's like the new, almost like Elvis
Yeah.
in a way. But I think she's actually just sort of like a small town. So
Girl.
I'm not like other girls. Sort of like I'm in the pickup truck going to smoke cigarettes. Like
Very that. But you know, she made her fantasy, not to quote her sister of that time to Lord, but like she really lived that fantasy.
no, yeah,
Oh. Like that's what those girls were about around that time. Like 2010 to 2014, Lana, Charlie, Halsey, Marina, all those girls were just like broke down nasty, had nothing else besides like a fucking bodega sandwich and a dream, and they just made dreams and
Yeah.
excellence out of their delusion. Same thing with Gaga.
Gaga
Like, for the fans.
is just so cool to me.
I agree.
Like, and Gaga's never gonna be my top diva ever,
Mm-hmm.
but probably the one I have the most respect for, just because I think she is so unbelievably talented and so heart on her sleeve to a fault that is like comical, almost. Like she is the best pop star of all time. She's done it all for me.
Yeah.
I really respect her.
Yeah, I love, like, you could tell she's just a tried and true performer. Like, so much, like we said, like, she wears her heart on her sleeve so much so to the point where it almost, like, becomes her fault. Like, she did the whole Joanna era because she wanted to.
Yeah.
She did art pop because she wanted to. Did it all turn out great for her in the end? Not really. But she wanted to do that, and she took that for
That's why
herself.
Art Pop and Joanna are actually my two favorite albums.
Really? I love art pop.
And
Trust.
they just are so, they're so balls to the wall, like,
Mm-hmm.
in their own way. And Joanna, I love like a personal, like, soft album.
Yeah,
I
most personal record. that
I
night.
always love my most personal record moment.
Yep.
Take risks. Like, it just fascinates me when someone, like her making that move is just so wild. And the shit she was doing at the time too, like in the music world, that wasn't like the album too. Like she really showed all her stuff.
Yeah, art pop is so underrated. I was there, like, for art pop. I'll never forget. It leaked the day before my sophomore year homecoming, and that album. I'm only saying this on Hinge shit because I know you'd find some type of comic relief in it. Art pop always reminds me of a McDonald's snack wrap because I got a fucking McDonald's snack wrap the day it leaked, and I was in my car listening to it, getting my life with my sister. And ever since then, every time I think of art pop, I think of snack
The
wraps.
McDonald's snack wraps are so good.
I know.
Bring them back.
Bring
they're
back our
so
queen.
good.
Ugh.
I would always get one grilled one and then one of the crispy ones.
Same.
There was like to die for.
Same. Like, I wouldn't want to get too crispy because I'm like, oh, like the grilled are so good and you need that.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't want to get too grilled because like the crispy mama.
You get the world 100.
Exactly. And it was always crispy ranch. Shout out to honey mustard, but it's always crispy ranch.
I think I would switch it up. I think I would do like
Respect.
grilled honey mustard and then
grilled honey mustard.
and then
makes
crispy
sense.
ranch.
Ugh. They need to bring. They need
The
to bring our
McRib is
queen.
getting its day every fucking second. They
No,
need to
yeah.
bring. There was like the McRib is back for the last time 100 times.
That's right. I've never had a McRib.
Yeah, I don't eat.
Snack wraps though. Only. Speaking of McRib, you're a Miley stan.
Oh my god.
I was like, let's make this unhinged. You're a Miley stan.
I literally Miley, okay, like I could talk about Miley forever.
Go.
Um
Perfect timing.
and obviously I've been in like my Miley girl era cuz she's had new music out and I did a million Miley parties. And I've never been like the girl who's like, I'm a Miley impersonator. That's never my thing ever. She just has influenced me so much, and I love her to death. But I'm never gonna be like, I need to look like Miley, do Miley, like blah blah blah. But I just like but she is infused in everything I do forever. Yeah, I've loved Miley since Jump, day one.
Really?
Since Hannah Montana. And like, I think what's cool, she just is the pop culture chameleon in a way that not only are her changes like so loud and so proud, but like she is the first to not be ashamed of like the way that she's changed, and she embraces the way that she's changed. And it sounds so crazy, but I'm like, the way that she has changed like through her life, especially like in my young adult life to like a kind of adult life, is I just feel so in sync with where she's at. We all have that one, person where like this music was made for me in this moment. And like her, like when she went bangers, I was like, I'm in my bangers era. And then like when she went to Younger Now, I too was like
country girl, North Carolina.
Exactly. And now we're like in Endless Summer, and like,
West Coast,
baby.
New York.
I'm ready to kick back and meditate and take care of myself.
On the Canal J when it's fucking rainy and wet outside. Me at the Hudson Piers and it's fucking rainy. I'm like, I'm just in my Endless Summer era, my blonde hair.
Did you listen to the album?
Oh, did I listen to the album? Yes, I did. I was gonna say also, I'm like that with Britney. I will look at that grown woman and be like, same sis. My whole life.
Britney, I always like felt a little too young for.
Okay.
Just we're the same age, obviously. I think I just like missed.
Yeah.
I like just missed for whatever. I guess because like I had no older siblings or.
That's
like,
what it was.
I came to Britney like. I guess like Womanizer, If You Seek Amy, like when that sort of hit the scene, Circus, like that was like, okay, she's the girl. But that was when I knew who she was, obviously.
Yeah.
But that was like my first introduction to like her music.
Yeah, that was the thing. I think it was like my babysitter, like my like neighbor who would babysit me. She was like 16 or something. She put me on and changed my life, and I'm eternally grateful for her because I was there from jump. Like, that's my mother, and I still now to this day I'll be like, I'll look up like Britney Spears, 25 years old, and I'll just like be like, and I'll look at the pictures. I'll be like, do I resonate with this? And I'm like, yeah.
My cousin had like one of my chorus memories is my cousin. She had aged so many Barbies, like a whole closet full of Barbies, and she had a Britney Spears poster on her wall, and it was like a blue like crop top halter, and then like cargo pants, and I would look at that poster. That was like ripped out of like a J14 or something.
Yes.
And
J14.
everyone would always like her parents and like my parents and like cousins' parents would always be like, that's so tasteless. Like this photo and her. And I was like, well, this is so cool.
Like, no, this is mother. It's like how they have those like Jesus posters. Like, it's like, that's my.
Oh my gosh.
Poster. Like, but yeah, that's me and Britney. But yeah, Endless Summer. I've most definitely listened to the album. I listened to the week when it came out the night before.
Oh my gosh.
Just because I was like, I don't want to listen to the album for the first time at the fucking party. No shade. I was like, there's going to be too much going on to be listening to it.
So like the thing about me like admitting my secrets, this was the first album that I had like not listened to yet, Endless Summer. Because like Plastic Hearts had been out for like literally a year. Like we didn't know it as Plastic Hearts yet, but like
it was California Dreamin' or whatever.
Yeah, and like we just had like these tracks that all were coming out all at once, and then that was like almost a year later. Like Midnight Sky came out, and she was like, "I'm doing an album," and then like I think Heart of Glass was so successful. Like she was like, "Okay, let's do an album real quick."
Yeah.
But it ended up being a very cohesive, incredible work, I thought. I just was disappointed. When the track list came out and it was like all the songs we already had, I was gagged.
I was so happy.
I was gagged.
I was so happy. I'm glad she kept it and didn't scrap them or anything.
Yeah.
Because like the leak wasn't even like everywhere. It was just like, it was so niche. Like not even a lot of people heard about it. I knew I trusted you. Like you were the girl that listened to Plastic Hearts a year before it came out.
Yeah, like I mean, it came out like I think Hate Me was the
That's
first.
what I was about to say.
Hate Me was
That's
the
what I was
first
about to
one that
say.
like hit the scene. And that came out just like in the right time. And that the Plastic Hearts album on my Files app got me through quarantine.
Same. I would listen to it in like an old Telegram chat.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. Like that's how I listened to it. And I had the order of like where it was in the chat or in my files memorized. So then when the album actually came out, it was all over the place compared to what I had. I was so confused and it took me forever to like adjust. And I was like, okay, opening with What the Fuck Do I Know, closing with So and So. Got it.
Oh yeah.
But it was a journey. But yeah, Hate Me, like when I heard it, I was back home in quarantine. I like fell to my knees. Like when I heard that Kelly Clarkson ass chorus, I was like,
Yeah.
she's back.
Hate Me ended up being one of my least favorite tracks, like come album time.
Mm-hmm.
But when the first leaks came out, that was my favorite. That was my favorite for sure.
So good. Plastic Hearts is so excellent. Never Be Me has been coming around lately, and I'm like, this is her best.
Never Be
song.
Me, I think, is her best ballad of all time. That and High, I think, were the only tracks that like when the album came out that I hadn't heard
Same.
already. Love you, Miley. No disrespect, but we were desperate during quarantine.
Yeah.
And Never Be Me, I was like, it came out Thanksgiving, right? It was Thanksgiving. The girls that know, and I was like,
Mhm.
all right, guys, y'all know where I'm about to be at midnight. Don't bother me. I was like at my cousin's house, like went downstairs and was like under a table, like lights out.
Yes.
With my headphones
I'm
in,
screaming. I
like
can't.
just like in like literally under a table, like in tears. Oh my god, it was such a beautiful night. And I said, this is crazy.
That is such a like, you know how there's that meme going on where it's like, you know, you're like gay and have been traumatized if you memorize like this space or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like the Rosemont empty during the day or something like that, or like basement, like
Yeah.
entrance to basement. Every fucking queer person has that, like them sneaking away from their family to go listen to one of their girlies' leaks.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. And you're just like phone up to the ear, like, oh my gosh.
No, I'm
That's so
like
funny.
tremoring thinking about like hearing Plastic Hearts the first time. Yeah.
Oh, I was losing it because it was Hate Me first, and then I heard like Plastic Hearts, the title track, and then What the Fuck Do I Know? I was like,
Yeah,
girl.
that was wild.
What the Fuck Do I Know is the one. Like,
For me, I think too, Angels Like You, like
second best ballad of all time for
yeah.
her.
She's a ballad. That's what I always say. Like, she is the ballad girl. That's my only critique of Endless Summer Vacation, where Wonder Woman is definitely my least favorite ballad of hers, probably ever.
Yeah.
Like, including like the breakout ballads. But I still like it.
Yeah, I love it. I think she just sells it so well. I will say, I'm like, why did we add this bootleg store brand Born to Die production onto the track?
Of You? I
Yes.
kind of like it. To me, it's kind of got that like if classic rock kind of vibes were kind of modern.
Yeah.
It was surprising to me because the live tracks I love.
Same.
But now I really love the production. And the first time I heard it,
Yeah.
I was like, what on earth?
Maybe I'll come around to it. Great, I still listen to it and love it because once again, she's singing the hell out of that
Yeah.
song and it just works regardless. But I was like, we could have went with the first version of the song, but nonetheless,
My
it's
favorite
good.
so far is Island.
Yep,
Um,
same.
And that was the one that
Same.
had like the least sort of hype around it, I
Yes.
think. Changed my life.
Same.
No, I have been listening to it kind of exclusively on the way here, like on repeat. Yeah.
Same. The way I think about snack wraps when I think of art pop is the way I think of the J Train when I think of
Oh my
Island,
gosh.
because that's what I listen to going into the city is just Island on repeat.
Yeah, I want to do like, because it's not a very like performance oriented album in the way that like makes sense for drag or
Yeah.
nightlife. And like, I really want to do like a video for Island that's like me on a beach, and I want to give it like a lost, like sort of like plane crash, like
That's a
polar
good
bear
idea.
kind of like vibe with it, and have that going on. I'm like, I'll do this. I think.
That would really work as like a video treatment for like her.
Oh my gosh, I would die. I should do it.
That's hot.
Oh, I could.
Directed by Reese Havoc. Imagine.
Reese, no, she's been doing it with Jacob Bixenman, who like
The River video.
Oh my! Which is what's wild about Jacob Bixaman is that like I know him as Troye Sivan's like boyfriend, and then when they broke up,
That's right.
like that was wild to me because I was like, love is dead, and I was like, if they could, those two can break up, then like we all can go through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, anyone.
Like we're all gonna be okay.
Yeah. I'm okay. I don't need. Ugh. I completely forgot they were dating.
Yeah, they were together a long time.
Is he the one who also directed the Angel Baby video, or no? Maybe I'm tripping.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think they were broken up at the time.
That's a good song. But yeah, the River video, it's so simple. They literally had a bucket of water, a camera, and a grayscale filter, and a dress from Charlotte Russe.
I
And a drink.
like, because I was doing a listening party at Boxers,
Mm-hmm.
and so we listened to the album, and then like obviously released the video with the album, so I hadn't got a chance to like watch it yet. And so we were at Empanada Mama, and I was like, hold on, guys, like I just really have to. So I put my headphones in and like watched the River video. It's like 3 a.m. And I'm crying, like watching the River video, which is like not an emotional video, but I was really moved by it insofar as like she seems so adult to me and so cool. Where I was like this, especially like after Flowers, which is a different vibe. I said, wow, Miley really kind of. I've been with her a long time.
No, I know what you mean. It's like those come around moments, especially it's like when you see your fave live that you've been with for a while. And you're like, when you like, it's always like the 5th song or something like that, where like the hype of like, oh my God, like the bitch is here, like all the spectacles kind of cool down. And you're just looking at them like from head to toe, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the girl.
Mm-hmm.
She's here in town tonight. This is the same bitch that I've been seeing for years. It's like one of those moments where you reflect and you're just like, wow, I've been with this bitch for so long, and I don't know why, but I also know exactly why. I love her, like, success story again. Like, I like that, like,
Yeah.
she's back on top. She acknowledged her past era. She acknowledged her bullshit. Now she's like, okay, now time to show you that I'm still that girl, the most talented X act we've had in a while.
She is the most talented X act, and like she's a different league, I think.
I agree.
Ari, I think, is a super talented
completely.
artist. I think what's cool about Ari to me is like her production skills, like the way she like masters her own vocals and shit like that. I think is just really cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm like a nerd about shit like that too on the computer. It's like I like to do it all myself.
Same, listening to like the stems and all the layers and whatnot. Ariana's like peak recording artist. Like she's a beast in the studio and on stage too, but it's like Miley's like a stage performer.
Yeah, I think we'll probably never get the Miley again, like the backup dancer Miley world, which I will miss a little bit.
Yeah.
And even like the production Miley. I feel like for a while we're gonna be seeing like
the mic with the wire.
The mic with the wire rock concert kind of Miley.
Yeah.
Which I watched the Disney Plus special and oh my God, it was so good.
I saw the Island performance and I was like,
it's sexy in a way it's hypnotizing.
It's the way she's like swirling around her pool. I'm like, how do you look hot right now?
I want to be in my drag era where I do everything with a wireless mic. You know those girls that like all of a sudden like for one performance they're like, and now I'm holding a microphone for this one.
Yes.
For some reason it's always like doing Selena. I feel like whenever people do Selena, they're like, for this I'm holding a mic.
The mic, yep, exactly. I could see that for this era, like let the wire hang.
Something, yeah.
Loose, very that. I want her to do a stadium tour. Like I see it, like Endless Summer Stadium tour. And if it's gonna be that rock vibe, like just band wired mic, like let's go there, girl. Very Queen, Live Aid, like
I feel like she'll probably be at like Madison Square Garden this year.
She has to do the Super Bowl. It's her time.
Oh, it's her time.
It's her time.
I feel like this is the year it should have been.
Mm-hmm. I think it's
no disrespect to Rihanna. Obviously took precedent because it's Rihanna.
Yeah.
They had to cash it in while she was saying yes.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's Miley's time.
I wonder if they're gonna do it next year. Like if like tour's winding down, like she has the songs memorized in the back of her head. She doesn't mind doing a few more weeks of rehearsal time and like could pull out. That would be an insane.
People say she doesn't have the catalog, but I'm like,
Girl, you kidding?
She has the cat. Like, it's crazy.
She has like her own All I Want for Christmas Is You, which is Party in the USA.
Exactly.
For like summer, 4th of July, like she has that.
I feel like that and like The Climb, We Can't Stop, and Wrecking Ball, that those are a solid 4 that like literally every American knows the words to.
That's
So
half
like
a set
the
list
other
already.
hits can be like second string hits that still a lot of people know. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's half a set list, and that's all from like one era,
Yeah.
1 or 2
kind of.
eras. Like, it's okay. We're talking about Miley a lot, but I don't give a fuck. You said I could talk about Miley for
Yeah.
a while, and I'm like,
No,
so can I?
literally.
What are your top 3 Miley albums?
Top 3 Miley. Dead Pets is my favorite ever.
I love you
It
so
came out
much.
like I maybe
I love
the
you
same
so
for
much.
you. It came out
Freshman year of college.
the night before, like
School
so
started.
the night before school. Yes. Oh my god. So like I remember.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Like we all
My
because she was hosting.
sister.
Literally, I'm like you get it so hard. I like on my floor. Like I just met everyone like a day before, and it's like okay guys, we're watching the VMAs, and at the end she's like, my new album, Miley Cyrus and her Dead Pets is out now for
It's
free.
for free.
Yes.
Out now for
And
free.
then I like had a feeling we were getting something. I didn't realize it would be a whole album in that moment right then there, much
Yep.
less 23 songs. Running to SoundCloud, right? Website crashing. I
Yep.
went to bed. I woke up at like 6 a.m. and like I had like a desktop like in my dorm, and I like hooked up my like AirPods, not now AirPods.
Yeah.
We used to call them like earbuds.
Earbuds, yeah.
You know, different times.
Dated.
And I like listened to all of it. And then I just would like every day walking to class listen to like it's my whole freshman year. That album is my favorite album ever, probably.
I love your ass
So
so
I'm so happy you like it
much.
too.
I have not met a single soul that has given more than an ounce of a fuck about that album.
No,
Besides my sister.
I think anybody that like I'm sort of like meet by being friends with me, like that album sort of comes into your life somehow, because like like if that's like my desert island art piece, I would bring that piece of work with me. If I was like, you could bring one thing to a desert island and that's all you have
Yes.
media wise for like the rest of your existence, like that would be it for me. It's just so personal, so wacky, so heartfelt in a lot of places.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's the best album ever.
It's like when you really take a moment to think about it, it's like she lost everything. She lost her relationship, she lost her dog, and so she was like, let me marry those two ideas together, a loss, whether it's death or relationship. And one thing about Miley, when she's writing about a dead animal, she does not play.
Yeah.
We've been there with Bottom of the Ocean. Her best.
Oh my gosh, Bottom of the
song.
Ocean is one of my favorite songs ever. You get it. Oh my
Of
god,
all time.
girl.
I'm so happy somebody gets it.
No, literally.
I'm always like playing these songs in my shower, hoping like my roommate gets it.
One
like,
thing about Miley is when the ocean's involved, her pen.
there. If it's a pet that's like, hello, no, he's dead. Oh, she's about to go off.
Pablo the Blowfish, like the thing about Miley too is like she commits to the bit. Like she's always saying songs are about certain things. Where like,
Yep.
she was like, this song is about this, and she like really, I think, in her heart of hearts, might believe it. Because I think she convinced herself a lot. But I'm like, Pablo the Blowfish, 100% is about the blowfish, yes, but also just like about Liam and like losing that relationship, and it just breaks my heart. It's wild.
Especially towards the end, like when she starts she starts asking like, what does it mean, like pretty, and then when she starts just screaming it and banging the piano, I'm like, this is a girl going through heartbreak. This bitch is mad. This is art. Like this is fucking live art. And One Sun, like to compare like fucking environmental damage and climate crises to the turmoil of your relationship, like what a fucking what drugs.
That was my favorite live show I've ever been to too. Like
same.
It was great. Were you at Terminal 5?
No, I was going to school here at the time, but I went home for that show.
Yeah.
And I went to the one in DC.
Oh my god, yeah.
I have a fun fact about that.
Wait,
show
what?
Too. She passed the joint to me during lighting.
Oh my god.
That was the first time I've ever smoked, and it's on video.
That's iconic.
It was fucking iconic. I went through high school, like I went to like this really like shit fucking white trash school, and
Are
I
you
didn't
from
want to.
DC?
Yeah, like
Work.
Maryland, DC. I lived in both, and I everyone would be like, "Oh, do you smoke?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't want to smoke with y'all. I want to smoke with Miley Cyrus and Rihanna." And it fucking happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was wild. It's fully on video. During lighter, she passed it to me. I'm fucking 18 years old and not even stupid. I'm just like, take this weak ass hit.
I had not
It's
smoked
for
a lot of
sure.
weed in my, and then I obviously did not get her joint during lighter, or that would have, changed my life for real. But I remember these kids, like outside Terminal 5,
Yeah.
like, and we were there forever. But they were these kids, and I was 18, I
Mhm.
guess, probably. There were kids that are definitely younger than me. And we like went to like the subway that's like right by there, and then we like smoked weed like out of an apple that they like used as a bong. It was
Very on
classic,
brand.
and I was like, sure, I'll do a little bit.
She would have been so happy.
No, that was why. And then the other thing that was wild about that show is like, girls were fully doing like mad drugs everywhere, like in the middle of the floor. And then this girl peed, like, because we'd been in line forever, and we're inside the venue, like we're like on the floor, and this girl pees, and I'm like, did you just pee like everywhere? And her friend's like, don't bully her. And I'm like, I'm not, literally, I'm just like standing in this girl's pee. I was really upset about that.
Don't bully her.
No, I was like, I'm not trying to bully anyone. I just like, you like peed here. Like,
If you think you're about to implode urine, I think you're subjected to a little bullying, if we being real.
I
Or you
was
could
like,
just walk a
"Bruh."
few steps to the bathroom, just call it.
No,
a
people were
truce.
crazy. They were like, I'm not losing this spot. People were crazy.
We waited all day too.
Yeah.
It was like that show, which makes sense for that album, but like that show was a fever dream.
Yeah.
I'll
No, my
never.
favorite.
It was so good. It was so good. It was fucking. It was long, which I liked. It was like 2 hours long.
At Terminal 5, she like had to cut a couple tracks.
Ugh.
This is why like she's the coolest artist to me too. It's like other girls do their live show. It's like rehearsed to a T. Like they never talk, they never do anything.
Yeah, on a
Miley had to
timer.
cut a bunch of tracks because she just talked, and like obviously I was upset that like some tracks had to go, but from the set, because she was talking about like the wolves in Canada, how she was like trying to save these wolves in Canada, and she was talking for so long, and then she was talking about Pablo, and like it just went on for probably 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That she was like, okay, the venue, like we're about to go overtime, and like we have to cut like some songs.
I want her to do. It wouldn't happen ever again, but like I want her to do like that intimate type of show again. Like
I'm sure she will.
so
She's got a long
sick.
career ahead. Yeah.
No, genuinely, maybe we'll go together to the Dead Pets.
We
30th
got. Oh my
anniversary.
god.
That would be.
Oh, I would cry.
I would too. I would do anything to hear Space Boots live.
That's my
again.
favorite song of all time.
Same.
That's like,
I hear those since the beginning, like the like that opening. Instantly, like a tear just rushes to my eye, and the song isn't even really that sad. I'm just like,
no, it's for me. It's like, it just gets. It like feels like being in my bedroom, so sad
yes.
about like missing someone, and like everything feels.
Yes.
It's like the little things that feel like so excruciating,
Yes.
and trying to get over it, and like wanting to like draw pictures, like in your room.
Yes. It's so mundane, but it's so much going on at the same time, and like her delivery in the verses are so good. And I just love talking and then parking. Like
Yeah.
it's such just like
Whenever a song too
distinct
is like,
details.
same with Lord, where it's like any song that's about being in a car with someone you love. There's something so.
Yeah.
I think because like I live in New York, and I'm very rarely in a car
Mm-hmm.
with like my boyfriend or whoever. Like,
Yeah.
When I'm in a car with that person, it's just like so idealized romantic to me, like driving them or like getting driven. Oh my
It's
god.
so intimate.
Yeah.
Aw. I didn't know you're in a relationship. That's lovely.
Oh, I'm not at all.
Oh,
No,
hi.
I'm
Okay.
speaking about like past ones.
Oh.
I start sobbing. No,
Aw.
like Lord has that line where she's like, "I feel grown up with you in your car." Oh my god.
The girls, they really know how to get to us. I'm like, wait, Dead Pets is your number one.
Dead Pets is my number one. Is it your number one too?
It's like every week it changes. but it's in the top 3, no questions
I think
asked.
it's always so crazy. I think these two are kind of tied for second and third.
Okay.
Death Pets is for sure first. Rest in peace of Bangers. She's not in my top 3. I love her so much. Just like
I agree.
she served her purpose in my life. At one point, she served her purpose in my life for sure. Younger Now, I will always love. I think that and Plastic
Aw.
Hearts like my 2 and 3. I think like Younger Now just felt so fresh and new to me, and I think that was like the soundtrack to like the happiest days of my life. So I think I just kind of carry that memory with me, and like looking back, it's sort of like her happy album, right?
Yeah.
But all the songs are very with the exception of Malibu, like kind of dark in the way that she speaks about like love. It's you can like hear like how things were not great.
Yeah.
And then Plastic Hearts, I think, is just so her best lyrics and her most singular perspective, I think.
Yeah, Plastic Hearts is like her career album.
That's why I wish like Midnight Sky is her best lead ever for me. I love Midnight, and I love She Is Coming too. It's
She's
like
Coming is so good.
That's another one where like I can like summer like 2019, like fire hydrant. I'm like living in Washington Heights at the time. Like fire hydrants are like moving and grooving.
Yeah.
I'm like walking down the street, like wearing as little clothes as possible
Party
because
at the
it's so
street.
hot. And Party at the Street, like Catitude, like feeling my fantasy on the way to, like, and that was so cool.
That's such a like that sound was so good because it was like Mike Will meets like Plastic Heart.
Yeah.
In a way, like Dream is so legendary. I don't know why it hasn't scored like every single movie to hit theaters. Like it's just so cinematic to me. She's so real too for performing Party Up the Street at New Year's. I was like,
oh my god,
good
I was
girl.
one of my favorites. It's just like, and that's sort of like where Island went to. Like that's sort of like
yes.
sexy, like soft.
So good. My 3: Plastic Hearts, Dead Pets. And I was the same with Bangers. It served its purpose. If anything, I've been revisiting it a lot now, and I'm like, I love this album so much, but it still just got knocked out of my top 3. The final one is Can't Be Tamed.
Oh my
Can't Be
gosh.
Tamed changed my life. I kid you not. Like, I was there that whole era.
Yeah.
The moment the single dropped, I was like, all my family could remember. I would literally lock myself in my room and like blast it in the dark. Don't know why. And the video, the album, it's so good. It's such a crime she didn't tour it here.
I know.
Because everyone literally hated her so
No,
much
it's
at
wild.
the time. Fucking Gypsy Heart Tour. It was only in Europe. A tragedy. But like, I think it's still like it's such a like fucking like rock mafia producer, like literally who is that anymore?
Rock Mafia, so iconic.
It's so
Yeah, like,
iconic, exactly. But it's like you would think it's dated, but like it was still a lot of like the Miley we have now in a way.
Totally.
Like Robot, Liberty Walk, like
Who Owns My Heart is such a classic to me. Lately, the one for me that I like revisit a lot is My Heart Beats for Love.
I've been standing in this lonely street. I love My Heart Beats for Love. She performed that too during Plastic Hearts era.
Yeah.
At that Pride thing, I was like, yeah.
And she did Stay too.
Yes. In like Brazil or somewhere.
Well, she was gonna do it like live, but then she like got sick.
Yeah.
So she like performed it like in her bathtub, and I was like,
oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
I was like, she definitely she doesn't know the words. But.
No, she doesn't remember that one. I want her to do like a Can't Be Tamed like 15th anniversary tour because to hear Scars live and Who Owns My Heart, Permanent December, like I wouldn't ask for any more. Who Owns My Heart, like
that's really that's kind of like getting it to do again. I feel
it is. Thank goodness she performed that one too during like that iHeart event too, and with the band, and she's like sitting in that lunge position just screaming. I'm like, yeah, girl.
iHeart changed her career. I think the Heart of Glass performance at iHeart just like won so many people over.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think Plastic Hearts would have seen the light of day in the way that it did without Heart of Glass.
I agree.
That's my Reese Havoc 2 cents.
No, I agree completely. And honestly, I would add her Heart of Glass cover, even though I'm like low-key tired of hearing it on TikTok everywhere, but it's legendary and iconic,
No, it's
honestly.
so good.
It's so good. It came on today at the gym and I didn't have time to change it. And I was like, it happened for a reason, you know? I would add that to her Super Bowl lineup.
Oh my God, totally.
Like the Hicks in Nebraska would be living.
No, it's her song. And Jolene, obviously.
That's fuck.
It's her song.
Oh my God. Yeah, Miley Super Bowl 2024. Fucking confirmed happening. But yeah, I love how we just talked about Miley this whole time.
I know. I could literally talk about her for hours.
Same. Once I love an artist, I'm like, yeah, I'm all about them. I always wonder that. I'm like, is it like some type of like queer void we're trying to fill? I'm like, what is it that we see so much like belonging to these artists, specifically female artists? You know, like I remember I was violently high one night, like, and I mean violently high one night, and I was in my bed, and I literally, same thing, I'm 25 years old yet, I have posters of all my queens in my room, and I got like so creeped out by it. I was like, wait, are these actually, I know I call them like mothers, but I'm like, are these actually my mothers? And that's why like I'm obsessed with them. I'm like, is this some type of void I'm feeling? But I was like, I have a good relationship with my mother. But it was just like this whole weird internal conversation I had with myself. And I think about that often. And I'm like, what is the enamor that we have towards like all these girls, like our divas? Like,
it's like the parasocial thing that always I'm like, ooh, like,
yeah,
that's so, I'm like, I can't think of it too hard or I get embarrassed. I guess it's sort of like when I was a little kid, all I wanted was an older sister. Always. Like something about having an older sister was always just like so cool to me. Didn't have an older sister. But now like I guess there's like friends in my life who are sort of older. Like that older sister relationship.
Yeah.
Like I'm always gonna love. And I think like for a lot of like the people that I like look up to, I'm like, oh, that's sort of like my older sister.
Oh,
or like my friends. I'm like, that's my older
love
sister.
That's a very good point. I never thought about it that way. Interesting. That's really sweet though.
Yeah. I'm very sweet.
Miley's not just mother, but she's your older sister.
Yeah, I'm never gonna be like, that's mother. That's something that's like some lingo that I'll never be real for me. I know. That's our first like difference.
But see, I say that
Compare
like
and contrast.
ironically, like everything. Like it's the way like some girls now just say slay to everything. I'm like, oh shit, like fucking bento box is only like $10 till 4:30. Mother. Like that's
I was like I'm gonna say yikes a lot.
Yikes.
That's not really.
I say
that's like
the
opposite of mother. It's sort of like yikes.
Yikes, mother.
Yikes, mother.
Yikes, mother. That's funny. That's funny.
Yikes, mother.
Let the girl slip out. We're gonna.
Yikes, mother. Oh my god. Wait, now I'm addicted.
Yikes, mother.
Yikes, mother.
That's actually hot.
Like that's embarrassing. Hot. Yikes, mother.
You know what? First example of a yikes, mother moment. Gaga on the carpet at the Oscars last night. Mother. When I see pictures of the performance and she's in jeans.
I didn't get to watch the Oscars yet.
Oh, I didn't either. I watched it through Twitter. I'm not watching that shit.
Yeah, I saw like a quick little clip of. I'm like Gaga do it, but oh my god, like my favorite Gaga performance of all time.
I know what you're gonna say
ever is the Oscars, The Sound of Music. I think it is so iconic. Like to perform, like she's Lady Gaga,
I could cry.
And like to do like up in front of Judy Garland, like and
Julie
the production.
Andrews.
I mean, sorry. Oh my, don't kill me,
Yikes,
Julie
mother.
Andrews. Yikes, mother. Yeah.
Grandmother.
Why did I say Judy Garland? I don't know.
Her spirit was probably keen and caring.
No, and then at the end she's like doing Climb Every Mountain till you find,
picks up the dress,
your throws dream.
Yeah.
Oh my, it's iconic. And like she sounded so, I could watch that every day. I could watch it every day.
I do. I could cry, and they don't even have the full thing up.
I know.
They have it fragmented everywhere. So I'm just like, okay. And then I watch State Farm ad, and I'm like, okay, Edelweiss, hot, amazing.
Baby.
Yikes, mother.
Like Edelweiss.
That's my favorite Gaga performance.
That's wild.
We see
so insane.
each other.
No,
girl.
When's your birthday?
April 26th.
Okay, May 8th.
You're a Taurus too?
Yes.
Bitch, you're my sister.
No, literally my sister.
I was gonna ask you that like 2 minutes into our conversation. I was like, is it Mr. Taurus? You are.
I'm a Taurus. People are always being like, you're the least Taurus I know. And I think they say that because they don't think people say they're like, you're not very like grounded and like homely. But I'm always like, I am pretty grounded. I'm just like
Yeah.
a different kind of, my energy is not very grounded, but my heart is very grounded. And I'm definitely like the stubborn parts of being a Taurus
Same.
for sure.
Same.
The headstrong parts, absolutely.
What are your moon and
I
rising?
think I'm a Gemini moon
Okay.
and a Taurus rising,
Sexy.
according
love
to CoStar.
The app.
Whatever.
Hot.
I don't really know much about all that.
Yeah, I don't really either. I just know I'm a Taurus sun, double Sag, and that's why I love the Sag icons, Miley, Brittany,
Yeah.
the girls that, you know, can't be tamed.
I do know, like, I always, in my life, I'm always having tumultuous crossings with Virgos. I go hard and fast with Virgos.
Yeah, Virgos are like the himbos we talked about earlier. Like, I know what they're good for. Good job, boys. Other than that, like,
No, I'm in my addicted to himbos era. Addicted.
himbo addiction. Remember, did you
Himbo,
watch
himbo addiction.
Himbo Anonymous? Himbo's Anonymous. Did you watch Zoe 101?
100%.
I refer to this kind of every day, especially now as I'm in like
PCA, baby.
Literally, we went there exactly. You were the scholar, and I took algebra too.
This like set is kind of giving like Zoe 101.
Does oh my gosh!
Like this is where
feels
they
like-
had class.
Yes, exactly. This kind of gives me like the lounge too, with like the table, and then Zoe's toe was on it, and they said it looked like a corn chip. Like, I don't know why I remember
The
that.
toe, the feet stuff, like it's crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's so ew. That's so right.
It's crazy.
Weird, but I remember it was the second season when they got rid of Nicole, and they were like, "Where'd she go?" And they're like, "Oh, she went to an all-girls school because she got diagnosed for OMGD." And they're like, "What's that?" They're like, "Obsessive male gender disorder." And I'm like, "Same,
Oh, yeah, same 100.
same girl." Felt down. OMGD is definitely what I'm suffering with. Obsessive himbo disorder. OMHD, obsessive himbo disorder.
No, I met these like boyfriends last night. I was telling you earlier, and I was like so obsessed with them,
Yes.
and I'm like, no, right now I'm like, I want to see them again before they go.
Would they follow under himbo category?
Yeah.
Nice. That's fun.
Oh my god, totally. Himbo, I mean like, himbo, like for me being a himbo, it's like you gotta be like 6 feet at least.
Yeah, do short himbos exist?
I don't know. Short himbos are like kind of, I don't know, different.
See, that's the thing. Like, I think you're right. Like,
That's just my personal 2 cents. It like doesn't read the same.
no, it doesn't, because whenever I see like a short hot man, I'm like, my short king. Like, I
My
love
short
a short
king.
king. I bow to thee. I curtsy to thee. I pick up my dress at the end of climb every mountain, slam it on the floor, and bow to thee, my short king. I love a fucking short king. Oh my gosh.
My little celebrity crush, Jabuki. Oh my god. I'm like the hottest boy alive. I would trade my life.
Same. I have like the biggest crush on him. Such a sensitive spot.
No, I think if I met Jabuki, it would be like weird for me. I would be like giggly.
I've bumped into him a few times, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
and usually like, especially these days, I've been quite smooth around the himbos and other gentlemen, and like I've really been like giving them game and whatnot, but like him, nope, absolutely not. Like I cave in, and I'm just like, oh yeah, no. I'll tell you more about that.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Yeah. Interesting. So we have the same taste, fucking same signs. My sister.
I know, and we're both from like the South.
I know. We're really like younger now, folklore girls. That's what I
Oh.
always give when I go back to Maryland. Like,
Oh, the second I get into North Carolina, I'm like, baby, I'm in my flannel. I'm like, I got a cup.
no, I'm taking
like,
a
in a
picture of
car.
a tree, of the forest, of a back road.
I
and putting it on
love
my story.
My friends are always like, you act like you grew up like on a farm, like picking your own eggs from the chickens. And then like one of my friends, she was like, okay, this is clearly she like visited me in North Carolina. She's like, okay, this is clearly not the life you painted for yourself. Like wearing overalls down to make fresh scrambled eggs
It's
every morning.
fresh
Like,
scrambled
like not my life. But I'm like, I definitely cosplay like Southern when I'm home.
No, same. I'm like, I live across the street from a Target and an Ulta.
Yeah, if you live in the Ulta, it's not the South. Yeah.
No, literally, like it's the same shit everywhere. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really not Miss Southern Girl. I thought I once was, but you, like I say this to all my guests because I love them, but like you have to come again
Oh my god, I will.
and again.
No, I want to just hang all the time.
No, same. Like we're not just gonna be like friends, like in the club. We're like, oh hi baby, like your sister, yikes sister,
Yikes, sister.
yikes sister.
Oh my,
You're
Yikes Mother
fucking
has
fine.
potential. I really do think.
I
It's
think
like
so
a riff
too.
on a common. It's a riff on an old classic.
Exactly. Not afraid to reference or not reference. I'm still so happy you said the fucking Sound of Music performance.
No, it's I literally
Dagger
cannot
performance.
wait to watch it right now.
No, same viewing party it seems.
No, oh my god, viewing party.
I like shat myself when watching it fully because Sound of Music is my favorite movie of all time.
Sound of Music is so good. I would like watch all the time when I was a kid on like
It's
the
so good.
VHS.
The 2-part,
And I never got to like the Nazis of it all. Like it's just long. I just never got there.
so long.
It's like I think like later in life I was like, wait, what?
I feel like
it's all
they actually leave.
Yeah.
They make it out. They climb every mountain.
No, like they were like I was like I've never seen the scene before in my life where they're like hiding in the abbey.
church,
I
yeah.
was like this is all new to me.
Yeah, that closing scene. Like if you want me to cry on the spot, play the fucking end where climb every mountain is playing.
Oh, yeah.
Literally like boo hoo. Like I feel the tears like rushing. Like boo hoo sob. Yeah.
I was in the Sound of Music in high school and I was like
Oh, you
Every time
fucking
at the end,
icon.
cry,
Who'd
cry,
you
cry.
play?
I played Max. I know.
Wow.
It was me and like my like best friend in like high school theater. We were Max and Elsa together, and it was iconic because like it just was like, oh, the two of them like doing the duo act.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's fucking iconic.
And I'm not a singer. Like I don't sing, so I did that, and it was really fun for everyone.
Really, you strike me as somebody that.
Oh, I definitely like give like singer, definitely give dancer. Not really good at either of those things,
Hot.
but I'm so charming. So
No, you are, and you have such good taste. Girl, I'm happy we fucking.
I know,
This is such
literally.
this is like Sister Summit.
No,
like,
Sister Summit, literally. I feel like I met a best friend.
No, same. Sister Summit 2023 has commenced.
Officially.
This is fantastic. You're definitely coming back whenever,
I'll be back.
literally. Because then I'm like, oh shit, we got to talk about like you.
Oh my god,
This is so lovely.
me, myself, and Miley.
That's really what it was.
No,
But, like,
I love listening to the pod too because I don't me saying the pod. Ugh. But like I listened to like Julie and John, and I was like,
mhm.
I love these girls.
I like them. Oh, like when they came to the
Yeah.
show. Oh.
Oh my yeah, I definitely
I was like, who?
no your podcast.
Oh.
Don't be ridiculous.
I thought I thought Julie and John was a podcast.
No. Like when Julie J and John
Aw.
came, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I just love hearing people talk about themselves or like get to know people's like artistry and perspective, and
Mm-hmm.
it's always fascinating to me.
Yeah, I love just like having those girls on for people to get to know them. It's kind of like what I'm realizing what's like the purpose of the show, because it's like nights you and I are like hosting or whatever. Like we could kiki for a minute and like go backstage and talk, but it's like you really don't get to know these people quite well.
Yeah.
So it's like even just down to like the mannerisms and like, you know, like Julie when she speaks, there's this cadence and there's this pacing. Right. You know, like that's exactly how she speaks, but like you can't get that like when you're like running past her at $3 bill because she's working and so much things are going on. So it's like I love for people to use like this show as a way to get to know people through those little like
Definitely.
nuances, you know. But yeah, you're definitely coming back like ASAP, please. But
Speaking of downstairs,
no, I mean, yeah, let the girls know.
Mr. Rocky.
Please, all the greatness in this building. But yeah, you should definitely come by again and let the girls know where they can find you online, but in person, because you host The Simple Life
Oh yeah, work.
as well.
You can.
The hottest.
Oh my god, it's the promo time.
Yep. Trust.
No,
If I could have the studio for another hour,
trust the
we'd be
Duchess,
deep diving.
baby.
Trust the Duchess.
Instagram, Reese Havoc NYC. Okay, it's Reese like Witherspoon, Havoc like it's spelled in the dictionary, I guess, and then NYC like NY with a C at the end, like on the t-shirt. Come see my shows. The Simple Life is my favorite. It's me and Hanukkah every other Tuesday at Verse, which is so fun. Hanukkah's gonna be gone this next edition, but Marsha will be joining me from Drag Race this season. So excited to do a show with her. And then I'm everywhere all the time because I'm just like the fill-in girl these days, where it's like, you know, support your swings, but and it's like always. But it's fun because like I get to work with like a bunch of different people all the time.
Yeah.
So Julie and I are doing Drag Race on Friday 'cause Nikki's gone, so it'll be me and Julie. So I'm excited.
God, I think I'm gonna be there for that.
Oh my God, it's gonna be cute. Julie and we did a show the other week, at Playhouse, and when I tell you, we only ended up doing one number each. Like, don't tell the owners, whatever. We only did one number each because we were talking so much. Like, we're like, oh, we've talked. The DJ was like, it's 9:30. Like, we gotta go. Like, we talked for probably an hour straight, just like saying whatever came to our minds.
You know, just Julie, Reese, and Mike night.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
what I was giving.
I was like, we're doing a podcast here live. The live pod, baby.
Hot idea. Conceptualizing.
I'm full of them.
Great idea, but no. Julie's fucking fun. I love her. I stan her, and I actively let her know that I stan the fuck out of her. Like, I'm just like, I don't care. I know she loves me, but I'm like, even if you have moments where you're like, yo, is Joey, you know,
my stan list, my New York,
like, yeah.
there's probably only 2 people in New York that I'm like, oh, I actively like stan. Like, I obviously like stan my friends, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But Reefy and Charlene, I think, are just so fucking cool.
I love them.
I stan.
I love Charlene is such a fucking good time.
They're just like cool performers.
Yeah.
Cool people, individual, so funny on the mic. Great performer. I love
somebody that's funny on the mic, like so. A charming girl. That's all we ask.
Girl. I know. I'm like, some girls are talented. It's like, I'm charming.
I think that's a talent.
I agree.
Honestly, I genuinely do, because it's like you could see somebody and they could be really gorgeous, but
Someone
then you talk to them and it's like,
the other week was like, they're asking us questions and they were like, do you feel like, who do you feel like is your competition in like the New York City drag scene, or do you feel like it's competitive? And I was like, honestly, there's no one at my level that's this untalented, so I really don't feel like I have any competition.
Wow. New York City's pass around.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Yeah, I've been called a pass around way too many times.
Oh, sorry. I hit a hole or a nerve. Sorry.
Yeah, but
but I mean that out of love. You know?
No,
that just means she's often booked. Hello.
Oh no, I never started Nightlife because I wanted to. I don't know what I wanted. Okay, I knew that I just wanted to like.
That's hot.
I like had no expectations. I didn't know anything about it. Okay, I never had really been out. I just sort of was like, there's this like character kind of like forming inside me that I just sort of, I want an outlet to express myself creatively, and it's like the thing that I loved is kind of the reason that like I've loved every kind of thing I've done in my life, which is like I just like to get to know people and meet a lot of people and just experience people's like perspectives up close. So like I love. Pass me around, baby. I'm like, new connections everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's like what you're, that type of person where it's like you could do a multitude of things. What makes them each unique is that you're adding your own uniqueness to it.
That's what's fun about drag is like you can do anything you want, and it could be different every night. Okay,
exactly.
like literally, you never have to do the same thing twice if you don't want. There's like really no rules, and it's like you get to. Like I love touching everything creatively.
Yeah.
So I want to do more of that. Yeah.
Hot. Well, thank you. And I
Thank
genuinely
you. Oh
mean Thank you for coming.
Oh my God,
You're
thank
a
you.
fucking key and a fucking carrot.
I realized like I'm over here on a couch this whole time.
I know. I'm like, I'm stranded on an island, so far away from here. But yeah, you're
Cool.
coming back soon, my
Of
angel.
course.
Everybody,
I'm
follow
like, look,
me.
I'm like, where the camera 1, camera 3, camera 4,
4.
4.
I think I didn't even realize that too, and I was looking at that's 2 this whole time. So I'll probably be cross-eyed in this episode too. Cool. Not that I have a collection of cross-eyed episodes, but it's okay.
I remember once my mom said I looked cross-eyed in a photo and it hurt me. So I get it.
You know what's funny? The other day I tried going live on TikTok because you could do that these days apparently, whatever the kids are doing. And somebody commented, they were like, yo, your cross eye is kind of cute. I was like, what the no,
That
he said,
gags
your
me.
lazy eye. He was like, your lazy eye is kind of cute. I was like, wait, what? And I'm not gonna lie, like I like look at some pictures now and I'm like, no.
Oh
there
yeah,
it is.
eyes are different sizes. It's like
Yeah. It does get a little lazier when I'm tired. Like at the end of the night, and like you get to that point of the night where you're like, I'm gonna rest my eyes. One of them is a little lazier
100.
than the other. So shout out to the lazy eyes and the cross eyes, I guess. But we'll see y'all next week. Follow me at Bad Bossy. Stay, updated on the show. Please see Reese everywhere.
Come
I'm probably gonna be
through.
at that viewing party because I would love to. So we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye. My sister.
Oh my God, baby.
You're fucking
I love you so
fun. I
much.
love
Oh.
you.